Tomás.
All right, thank you. Today's thought of the day. I titled it, Homeboy Lifts Up My Soul. And so let me first talk about where I got the line of lifts up my soul. It's a line from Dorothy Day, and during the break, which I call the last 15 months when we were away, a break, so I did plenty of reading, and I was reading an autobiography of Dorothy Day. And she's a famous activist way back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. She started the Catholic worker movement. She was a journalist. I think back in the 20s and 30s for a woman to be a journalist, it was pretty unusual. And along the way, she found her own spirituality and her own faith path, which pushed her to helping people who are poor, and people who are homeless, and people who are hungry. And she started a lot of soup kitchens in New York City. She did a lot of marching on behalf of the issues. She was a sought-after speaker and writer because people knew she was pretty authentic, and they wanted to hear what she had to say. And as her biography says, she had a fierce commitment to peace, nonviolence, racial justice, and the cause of the poor and the outcasts. And this is back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, so almost 100 years ago. And so, and even along the way, to getting funds to help out with feeding the poor, she opened up a bakery, which is sort of like a Homeboy bakery of 80 years ago, right? So she was doing all sorts of things and put her whole life effort focused on helping people out. And so when I was reading the book, The Long Loneliness, which is her autobiography, she put a line in here that said, as she was thinking about where to live and all that, she said, "I long for a church near at hand where I can go and lift up my soul." And when I read something about that sort of really caught my imagination, is that where she can go, where I can go lift up my soul. And one that caught my imagination, because I was doing a lot of reflection upon Homeboy and what Homeboy means to me. And for me, as I walk through those doors, and when I originally walked through those doors, Homeboy's a place that lifts up my soul. And it really is through the teachings of Greg and many of you here, and even these morning meetings. If you come to these meetings and come to Homeboy with an open heart, it lifts up your soul along the way. And so for me, I've come to learn that God is too busy loving us to judge us. And this is some of the things we talk about here, that there's no such thing as an evil person, and no one should ever be defined by the worst thing they've ever done. Really, and to love oneself is to love God. And that's a kind of hard concept to sort of sometimes understand and live by. But it's so true, and it's what we teach you. And so for many of you who are new to Homeboy, and even the folks who are old, I encourage you to open your heart so that Homeboy lifts up your soul as well. Thank you.